Hey, what's up, Earth? It's Spaceman Matt. I'm here to talk about the fourth episode of the 11th season of Doctor Who, Arachnids in the UK. Oh, and also I've got my brand new uniform. I hope you like it. It's less MST3K and more UFO, I think. I even updated the ringtone on my phone. Let's see. I'll check it out. Okay, I hope Barry Gray's estate doesn't sue me. It's if you don't know what UFO is, we'll have to do a Jerry Anderson tribute for one episode, I think. Okay, so let's get back to Arachnids in the UK, which was, I think, not the greatest episode, and probably my least favorite of the season so far. I think the CGI spiders were really good. I think the plot wise, it really wasn't good, and I think, from what I've heard, the science was pretty bad in it, and so it was overall kind of a disappointing episode. In previous episodes of Doctor Who, you've had giant spiders in Planet of the Spiders. There were spiders that were part of a Earth colony ship from the future that landed on Meteobilis 3, and the spiders grew to large size, developed telepathic abilities, were able to astral project themselves to Earth, and took over this Buddhist retreat, and they went after the Doctor in present-day Earth to get their crystal back. So there was a lot going on in that episode, and I'm bringing that up just to illustrate how more creative that Doctor Who was in that era. And there was also the Arachnos from Runaway Bride. That was the 10th Doctor episode more recently, and I thought these spiders might have something to do with her, but of course they didn't. They were your cliche giant insect, giant arachnid, mutated through, in this case, toxic waste. Sometimes it's radioactivity. In this case, it was toxic waste. And speaking of big spiders, there's Mr. Big, who from Sex and the City, the actor Chris Noth, who plays Robertson, Mr. Robertson, who's like a Trump parody, basically. He's a nasty American businessman who shows narcissistic personality disorder, in that he sort of wants to take credit for all the success and none of the blame for any of his failures. So he kind of, and of course he's big on guns, because I guess that's how Americans are, at least in the story. So he really wasn't anything too original. And Jodie, I always liked Jodie Whittaker. I think she's a great actress. She unfortunately can't carry the whole show on herself. The Friends situation, they really do nothing to develop those characters and beyond what we already know. I mean, Graham and, to a lesser degree, Ryan, I guess, are still mourning their loved ones, departing of their loved one, Grace, in the story. But I don't think that really adds any dimension to what we don't already know about them. Then you have Yaz, who was who was a police officer in the first episode, and showed that she wanted to, maybe she was limited in her role in the police force because of her gender, but she doesn't really assert herself in this episode either as an officer. When she has the opportunity to, or to take charge in situations, she kind of takes the back seat she seems to kind of take the backseat to her family as well in this episode. So I think she kind of wants to go with the doctor because she I think maybe to get away from her family, as well as to grow as a person herself. That's what I'm assuming anyway. What else did I want to talk about this episode? Overall, this really wasn't a good episode. The thing that bothers me is that I think for certain showrunners, for certain people, they have a vision of a show, or they have a vision and they can carry it through. But that's probably not for everybody. They're probably the exception and not the rule. I think for most producers, they should focus on running the production of the show. The script editor would be somebody that would, and I'm sure there's a script editor for the show, but I think traditionally the script editor sort of had the creative vision and also kind of made things consistent, that the characters were consistent throughout, that the stories made sense, and so that's something that the script editor would do. And they would get scripts from different writers. So you had for an episodic TV show, having a collective group of writers might be a better idea than putting it all on one person, the whole show on one person's shoulders. So I think that's something, maybe it's done to save money, but I think that's something that the BBC, and I think probably a lot of other American production companies and other production companies should think about when making TV shows, that sometimes somebody has a strong vision for a series and can carry it through, and then sometimes it needs to be a team effort. So that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I hope to see you next time. Bye.